Okay, 8th grade math people. Here we are again. We're going to do lesson 9.2 on page 358. More exponents. Okay, now we're just going to learn about the rules of when you can combine exponents and when you have to multiply them, what we're doing, when we're adding, what in the world is going on. Okay, 9.2, page 358, example number 1. 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 5th. Okay, if our base number is exactly the same, which ours is in this case, we can just say, 2, and we add our exponents. If our base number is the same, we can add our exponents. So 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 5th would be 2 to the 9th. We just add those because the base numbers are the same. Okay, so let's look down. Nope, let's carry on. If the base number is the same, we just add our exponents. So let's look at the next one on this example, which is example 1b. -5 times -5 to the power of 6. Are these base numbers the same? This one's a -5 and this one's a -5, right? They're both -5s. Even though this one doesn't have parentheses, I can add that if we want to, okay? And there's just one of them there, right? So that really has the exponent of 1, although we don't really usually need to write that down. But I'm just writing it for you now so you can kind of visualize. If there's one of them there, it has an exponent of 1. So these bases are the same. So if my bases are the same, I keep my base and I add my exponents. So if I have 1 here and 6 here, I have a total of 7. I have to keep that in parentheses. Remember, when we're dealing with exponents, if our number is in parentheses because of a negative, we need to keep it in those parentheses. It's really important. So I kept my -5 in parentheses and I did a 1 because there was one of them here, plus 6 more is a total of 7. Okay, let's look at C. In this case, I have x's, but it's the same thing as you working with a base number. Okay, I have an x to the 3rd times x to the 7th, okay? So is my base number, even though it's a letter, the same? It is the same. So I put x and I add my exponents. So 7 plus 3 is a total of 10, okay? So if our base variable or number is the same, we just add our exponents to simplify, okay? So that's example number 1. What would you think on your own number 1 would be? 6 squared times 6 to the 4th. Our base is the same. We add our exponents. We should get 6 to the 6th. What about number 3 on your own? Z, is there one of them there? It'd be z to the 1st. So z to the 1st times z to the 12th. Our z's are the same, so I still write that z, and I put to the total power, which in this case would be 13. All right. Okay, let's look at example number 2. 3 to the 4th to the power of 3. Well, I'll show this out longhand and then I'll just give you the short way to do it, okay? This really means 3 to the 4th 3 times, right? Okay, remember if our base is the same, we add our exponents, right? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Really, I took this and I broke it down long so you could see what it meant, okay? It means I have 3 to the 4th 3 times. And we just learned when our base is the same, we just add our exponents. So the shortcut for this is multiplying these two guys right there. 4 times 3 is 12, and I could be done. So if you have parentheses with exponents inside and outside, you multiply them. So let's look at example 2b. W to the 5th power to the 4th. Here's my parentheses, and I have exponents inside and out. If that's the case, I put my base and I multiply these two, 20. Okay? So on your own number 4, that would be 4 to the 12th because I multiply them. Number 5 would be y to the 8th. Good. Number 6 would be pi to the 9th. And number 7, weird with brackets and everything, but it's the same exact thing. But remember, because it's a negative, we have to keep those parentheses, okay? So -4th to the, I multiply and I would get to the 6th. And this would be the proper way to write it. If you wrote it like this, I would mark it wrong because you have to have the parentheses still, okay? All right, let's look at example number 3. 2x to the third power. 2x to the third power. Okay, this one's a little different than the last one. Notice there's no parentheses inside. They're only on the outside. So what this means is really we have to apply this exponent to everything in the parentheses. So it really means we have 2 to the third power times, because they're right next to each other, x to the third power as well. Okay, they both have a third power. If we have an exponent outside of parentheses, we have to apply it to everything inside. So 2 to the third and x to the third. But we could simplify that some more because we could actually do 2 to the third. What's 2 to the third? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. And then we'd have to leave x to the third alone because it's a variable. We don't know what it is. Okay, so I apply this exponent to everything on the inside. All right, let's look at B. xy to the second power. Okay, there's no exponent on the inside to do any multiplying with, so what I'm doing is I'm applying this 2 to everything. So I have to apply it to the x and to the y. And I'm done. Okay, so on your own number 8, 5y to the fourth. I apply it to the 5 and to the y. But I could simplify this, right? So 5 to the fourth power, you can do in your calculator one, it's 625 y to the fourth. Okay? All right. Number 9, 0.5 n, all of that to the second power, I apply it to everything. So 0.5 squared is 0.25 n squared. And what about 10? On your own 10 would be a to the fifth, b to the fifth, right? All right, good job. Okay, example number 4. A gigabyte of computer storage space is 2 to the 30th bytes. The details of a computer are shown to the left there in that little picture. How many bytes of total storage space does the computer have? So the number of bytes in a gigabyte is 2 to the 30th. It gave us that in the directions. And the number of gigabytes that this computer has is 2 to the 6th. They changed it into exponent form so we could combine them, okay? So let me write this down for you. All right, so the total bytes in a gigabyte from the directions are 2 to the 30th, and we have to multiply it by how many that we have in our computer, right? Our computer free space is 16 gigabytes. They wanted to put that back into exponent form so that, wait, what are they wanting to know? Hold on. How many bytes of total storage? Sorry, my fault. Total storage is 64. They want to put it back into exponent form so we can combine our exponents here, okay? So 64 is 2 to the power of 6, right? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64. So we work backwards, we put it into exponent form because now I have the same base. This is just like example number 1. I have the same base here, right, which is 2. And when I have the same base, I can add my exponents and I'd get 36. Okay? So take the number, put it back into exponent form, and then just combine. Okay? And you get 2 to the 36, which would be B. Okay, that's it. Hopefully it'll go well for you. If not, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you. And just if you get stuck, go back to the examples. They show really well what to do in which situation, okay? So good luck and have a great day. Bye.